What about you when you grew up? How did you get into golf? What is like?
Just my
everyone
parents.
knows the story of the People's Champ and the hole in one and all this fucking
People's Champ,
legendary
so relatable,
shit.
man. People's Champ, dog. There's very few people.
47-year-old old dude just like comes out of nowhere and makes. But I mean, you know what? It's just all of a sudden I had 4 days in a row, and it's like something. It's never gonna happen again. And for me, but it was a very magical thing, right? And I don't know why. I don't know why it happened. I have no idea, but it happened, and I think I inspired a lot of people. I've got wives that had never watched golf before that watched golf and got into the sport, and I got guys who had quit golf that got back into the sport. And like we talked about, we're here for Youth on Course, and if I get some juniors playing, it's unbelievable. And if I got 75-year-old men playing golf again that weren't gonna ever play golf again, that makes me just as happy. It happened for a weird reason. I think it happened. The golf gods said, you know what, we're gonna let you inspire these people that are uninspired right now. All these young people have been inspired through COVID and everything else because they couldn't play anything else, so they started playing, whatever. I didn't inspire them. I inspired everyone my age frame, older and above, to get back into it or to play or whatever it might be, and I'm very lucky to be that avenue.
Part 3 podcast.
Let's fucking go.
Even Malbon.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get right into it.
Put us down for the birdie, dog.
Just a bit outside.
Gang is back together.
Somebody give me your fucking putter. Poured the putt in. I had to make it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the world-famous Part 3 podcast. We are live on location at the gorgeous Pebble Beach, California. I got my man, J.R. Smith, and the absolute fucking legend, Michael Block.
Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thanks, JR. I think we're long-lost friends that we've now met.
Yeah.
I've known this man for quite a long time. Great person, and just happy to be here with you.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure. We had a great time with Jack a couple weeks ago in Cabo, which was unbelievable. First time, both of us, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you put the combination of Jack Nicklaus, Cabo San Lucas, J.R. Smith, and Blocky. I mean, how does it go wrong? And then we threw in a little bit of Tiger Woods as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get better than
And a
Diamante.
sprinkle Casa Azul, you know, just a sprinkle.
It was a good day.
It was a great day. It was a
So
great
I
day.
saw your wife and Ethan in the airport afterwards, and I said, how did Michael play? They said he played well, but he wasn't making any putts. I said, well, maybe Jack took all the shit out of it when he made that putt that night.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, Jack made like a 30-footer with my putter, and I was like, oh, it's got all the magic sauce on it now. I'm like, I'm gonna make everything. I haven't made anything since.
He drained it. He drained it.
It's all good. And if Jack drains out all the juice out of that putter, it's fine with me. I might just need to find a new one.
I hear that. Are you like one of those guys who, like, if a guy like Jack makes a putt with your putter, you're never getting rid of that thing? Because I am. If MJ signed or touched a pair of my shoes or a basketball or whatever, I'm not getting rid of that.
Yeah, no, that putter is not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, and the fact it's on video, and the fact that he was like, give me that putter, and I'm like, cool, and he drained it. That putter wasn't going anywhere to begin with, but now Jack Nicklaus draining that putt, no, it's not going anywhere. It'll be sitting in the Blocky Museum down in the road. Yeah.
I love that. So being here at Pebble, and obviously we're doing this for a foundation and doing this for the kids, and what does that mean to you to continuously be able to grow the game of golf?
Hey, you know what? So obviously everyone here today is here for a reason. We're all here for the juniors. We're all here to grow the game, and we're here, if we just allow and help one person, get into the sport and love it as much as we do, because I know for a fact that the three of us love golf so much. It's so much part of our life, right? We appreciate it, we love it, and for someone else to appreciate it how we do is gonna be a huge part, you know? When we're done, retired, and just sitting back and watching our grandkids, it's a huge thing. And Youth on Course is such a great organization that's allowing a lot of kids that couldn't play golf get into the game. And that's what it takes, right? You've got all these kids and these people. And I think that's why the sport's grown so much, is that because there's been this availability into playing golf now, you've got all these athletes that never would have played golf before that are now playing. And they hit it now 340 in the air, and they're dominating the game, which is great, and it's only gonna grow from here.
So I'm sitting at the tap room eating dinner about a year ago, exactly like a year ago, with Michelle Wee and Chad Veach, and we're eating dinner there. And this dude, Michael, who's around here, he works for Youth on Course. He came up and he said, yo, da-da-da, Malbon, ba-ba-ba. So I said, he said, I'm Youth on Course. So I said, oh, shit, I'd love to help something or another. So we went and played the Preserve the next day, stirred up this idea of doing a bracketed art contest. So we let all of their members draw our logo buckets, draw it each way they wanted, whatever. And then we put all of them up on social, and you would have one guy's art and the next guy's art, and you could click A or B and choose who you wanted to have. And so it got all the way down, and the kid who won, we did a collection with, and did a hat and a shirt and a hoodie, and all that money goes to it as well. But like, I think collectively between that and this, it's raised over like 150 grand. So it's $5 rounds. So just think how many kids with 150 grand, like how many rounds is that? How many kids, like you're saying, if we can just get one. So, and I think it's also like them being able to know that you two and people like you guys are out here and like doing all of this shit for them, it makes them even have a more, it's like when JR's pumping it, like I gotta go play. Like that thought of that, of like, everybody looks up to somebody, and there's kids that look up to JR all over, from basketball, from every other thing, and then it's like, well, now they're looking at him from the golf side and being like, well, JR golfs, I should. It's just amazing.
Yeah, no, where golf has gone, what I've seen in the last couple of years, right, the growth of it is ridiculous, and the people that have come into it is very special, right? And one of the coolest things that I've always loved is, and I kind of knew this was going to happen, right? Because even back in the day, Jordan, right? Best athlete ever. He plays golf, right? And so everyone starts to understand how cool the sport is, right? Back in the day when I was in high school, it wasn't a cool sport. But I'm like, I love it. I'm playing it. And I saw that all these people are playing it, right? So you got Mahomes and Kelsey, and everyone gets out there and plays golf when it's their off season or they're retired, whatever it might be, and they fall in love with the sport they're well in love with. How can't you? I mean, you're hanging out with your buddies. You're hanging out with your wife. You can go play golf with your wife. You can go hang out with your 4 friends and smoke cigars and have some cocktails, have some fun. Or you can go play with your family and be around your kids more than you would have ever been in any other sport. So this sport brings the families, the friends, everything together, which I think is so cool.
It's really dope because for me, it's I don't have any boys. I got all girls, and my girls play with me, when they can, but at the same time, it's still not like their thing. But you got Remy out here. And he just, 4 or 5 birdies in a row. Yeah, no big deal.
That's cool.
Smooth. Like, how does that feel, like, just
Remy's
being able
amazing.
to play with your kid?
So even Remy, so he's very confident, and I take him to I took him to like Medalist or something, and he's like talking shit on the range to the old dudes at Medalist, and the guy said, he's very confident, young man.
Where'd he get that from?
I said, well, if you don't have confidence, what do you have? So that's just what I said to the guy. And then Remy hits me the next day. He said, Dad, I thought about it. If you don't have confidence, one day you'll have nothing at all. And this is like a 9-year-old's thought process. Meaning, if you're not confident, you're going to lose your job, your wife, your golf swing. You're going to lose it all. You're going to lose the seat at your house. So yeah, Remy's amazing. But as a dad, Michael has 2 kids he trains, 2 boys he trains, so we just went up and played the Preserve with both of the boys, and it's amazing to see how different, he coaches both of them, right? And one of them is obviously older and a little bit hits it longer, maybe doesn't listen quite as much. The younger one is a little more conservative, but probably scored better that day. Dylan is taking every corner, and I'm gonna hit it over that tree. He's like, I don't think you should do that. He's like, watch, watch. Yeah. That vibe. And Ethan's like, okay, so just hit a little cut down the middle, no problem.
So
is that right?
So true. Yeah, and it's so much fun to have 2 different animals, right? Which I've got in my house, and you gotta talk to one a certain way and the other one the other way, and that's one of the most important things I think, not only in raising kids but training golfers, is how do you talk to them, right? How do you treat them? What do you say to them? Because it inspires them in different ways on how you say it. And the last thing you want to do is uninspire them or make it feel like school or homework. Right. Like I always said that. I'm like, I'm not going to make golf feel like homework to my kids. And I think that's why I'm lucky enough, and you're lucky enough, to have a couple kids that love the sport as much as we do.
Yeah. Spending time with your kids, spending time with your family on the course, it's like, for me, I mean, there's no greater feeling other than, taking a couple bucks from your buddy. But that's always good.
True that.
But like, talk about just the grind that these kids go through. Like nowadays, it's like, for me, when I was growing up, I was playing football, basketball, baseball, so many different sports. And now I feel like the kids are more generated into this one particular area. And which is nothing wrong with that, but like, how do you feel about the generations changing on growing up and raising kids around one sport, two sports, three sports, or just letting them pick what they want to do?
Yours are playing multiple?
They did. And I literally forced Dylan to play multiple sports because he's very much an athlete. And I'm like, dude, you could be a quarterback, you could be the wide receiver, you could be a point guard, you could do all these things. And he's like, Dad, I want to play golf. I'm like, I know, but still, go play baseball. And he's like, oh, okay, fine. He did, and he's like, okay, can I play golf now? I'm like, okay, that's how he was. But then Ethan, on the other hand, he played soccer, right? And until the age of 13, finally he was like, Dad, I just want to play golf. I'm like, music to my ears.
Hallelujah.
Music to my ears, you know? And so I've been very lucky now, and the fact is, like, my boys both work at the club. They work outside service. They open up on the weekends, which is really cool. They're learning the business as well, because I want them to have, something on the backside. And if one of them at some point wants my key of the club and run a club someday, I'm more than happy to give it to them and retire and be a very happy man watching that.
That's dope. That's another thing about golf to me. It's like you can work and you learn so much in so many different areas of the game. It's not just playing the game. It could be caddying. It could be working the front desk. You learn communication skills, and you learn how to talk to people, and you learn how to be presentable. So many different areas. And for me, like basketball, is like, it's either I'm gonna be the guy making the shots or the guy pushing the broom. It's either one or the two.
No in between.
There's no in between. There's no, I'm not gonna go work the concessions because that's a totally different realm of the game.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys, now that you look back at it, right, and it's like, for me, I just knew back that I was gonna go to a golf course. And it really didn't matter what I was gonna do, whether a teacher, a head pro, the general manager, whatever it was, I was gonna go. And I'm going to a golf course and be in my golf attire and the serenity of like you at the preserve, what you see up there every day, and I see your posts of like, the wild boar and everything that you see up there is just amazing. And it just brings such serenity and such a good vibe and a culture. And as you can tell with us, it's like we're in such a good place, right? And golf, I think, is really a very important factor that's put us in this good place.
Nice.
Totally. We started the Malbon Golf. I did an invest in golf, and it was like, one, I need people to buy shit, so invest so we can make it a business. Two, I was looking for investors, but the real reason is just because, like, I started working at a golf course when I was 12. My dad got me a job. I played tennis before that, and then I went and played golf. I washed the golf carts. I was the cart barn kid, and I picked the range and this, that, and the other. And, like, it's amazing at how if you take, like, two brothers and one goes at 12 or 13 and works at, like, the fast food joint, the other one goes and works at your country club. Like, you learn, like I learned how to play golf. My dad didn't say, I want you to learn how to play golf. He put me in a golf course. I'm with all these other older kids cleaning golf carts, and they're like, hey, you want to play tomorrow? I'm like, shit, I better go practice. I'm going to have to figure this out because these dudes are older than me and they're good. And then there were members that I liked, and the members would take certain kids out and play. So it's like, I was forced to get better at golf because I wanted to be accepted by the older kids at the country club, and this was when I was 12 years old. So just this, what we're doing and helping all these kids, it's like, if you learn how to hit a 7-iron, then it's like you may end up going to college to play golf. You may end up playing on tour. You may end up becoming a caddy. You may end up being a head pro, an assistant pro, working, but once you get hooked on the golf, it's like it's never going to stop. So if you get a kid at 10, 12 years old to learn how to hit, it's like Remington, his swing is insane at 11. It's just like, dude, just chip and putt a lot. Like, that's the only advice I can really give him. Like, don't change your swing, grow into your body, and just chip and putt a lot, because that's really the only difference of, whether you're really good or not. And the kids are little and they're so confident. Like Remington, when he was like, 7 years old, I'd be like, dude, Justin Thomas is better than you because he hits it far. But from 40 yards in, I don't understand how you would accept that he's better than you. Mm-hmm. Number one, you're lower, you can read putts better. You don't have to bend all down like we do. Like, you should be better from 40 yards in than every dude on tour.
You got a better view, huh?
I am, And eventually he started to believe that he was, and, he just had a little four birdie run back here at the Hay.
A little run.
He beat me here. The first time he ever beat me here. He was 2 under after 4. I was 2 over after 4. I just couldn't catch him. Just couldn't catch him. He just keeps hitting full wedges right into the middle of the green.
And that's a beautiful
And I'm hitting
thing.
little nippers that are spinning off the green and shit, and no catching them.
Nothing better than getting beat by your kid, though. I'll tell you that.
Your kids
I
beat
enjoy
you?
it. Oh my gosh, they've both beaten me a lot. Dylan's beaten me more often than I beat him.
Really?
It's at 80 yards by me. I mean, it's not even close. Yeah, no, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
I was gonna say, you
hate
got a
it.
great teacher.
I hate it, but I love it, and that's how it works.
And Dylan just did the long drive, and I heard he hit it 415.
Yeah, 417, the World Long Drive Championship. He finished 60th in the world at age 18 in the World Long Drive Championship.
417
And it wasn't even
yards.
his driver. Wasn't even his driver. They just let him borrow a driver, long drive, 48-inch driver. He went out there, and he went right against Berkshire, and Berkshire hit it. And so in their little quadrant of 4 guys, Berkshire hit it, who won, longest guy in the world, hit a 414, Dylan at 404 against him, mano a mano, which was sick. And then he hit 417 in the next round, which was really cool. Yeah, Dylan, if he actually wanted to do that, he'd be the longest guy in the world within a couple of years, but that's not really his path in life. And I think it's more of like, that's kind of fun because he palms in, he'll go out and do it maybe for fun, but he wants to be a golfer. He's got hands and stuff like that. So once he can combine that length with some consistency and knowing how to score, then he could be pretty dirty.
When we did we launched golf balls, and when I had the prototypes, we went to dinner at Korean barbecue with Michael and Dylan and Ethan, and I gave him the prototype balls. I gave them to Dylan, and he said, I'll test them for you, So he went at their course, and he was hitting he said he was going to hit 50-yard bunker shots so you could really get the best spin. And that's the shot he chooses, 50-yard bunker shot. So that's when you really can see the best spin out of a 50-yard bunker. I'm like, you're a sicko.
Yeah, none of us do that, right? We don't go 50-yard bunker
Exactly.
shot.
I don't want to
That's
hit a
just
50-yard
embarrassing.
bunker
I'm
shot.
either going to chunk it or thin it.
And he's hitting
For
it.
sure.
He's hitting it he's sends me one video. It's like, here's the Titleist, and he fucking flies it right by the hole, hits, bounces, zip, and then he sends mine. One hits the same spot, bounces, zip. He's like, it's a good ball.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was cool. He tested him out. He legitimately did.
With a 50-yard bunker shot is his testing.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. That's why we are excited that Unified Healing is sponsoring this episode of the Par 3 podcast. What is the EE System? Unified Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by Energy Enhancement System, or EE System. If you haven't heard of the EE System yet, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're in California or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE System technology for yourself? Go to unifiedhealing.com/par to learn more and find a center near you. That's UNIFYD healing.com/PAR. No material or testimonials on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or the substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regime, including the EE System.
So for me, growing up, I had a little brother, I had an older brother, and I'm kind of I got 2 younger brothers and I got an older brother. And I was able to start beating my older brother in basketball 13, 14. And kind of knew I was different at a certain age just because my body started catching up with my abilities and stuff like that. But I was never still to this day, I think my little brother never beat me one-on-one. My youngest brother beat me once in horse, and I'm still pissed about it. No, I'm still pissed about it. It's I'm furious. Do you see that competition in your kids? Do they really go at it?
Yeah, but Dylan loves to gamble, and Ethan hates to gamble. Dylan's got my side of that, and then Ethan's got my wife's side of no, we're cool. Let's just have fun, whatever else. And so they're very different in that way, but they're very competitive at the same time. Where yeah, they want to beat each other, and Dylan's got the upper hand, but he's also 2 years older. And Ethan, he's a little gamer, but he's getting after it, and he's working really hard at it. We'll see what happens. You got the guy that's just gonna be straight, and like to score. And then you got Dylan. When he's on, it's gonna be hard to beat Dylan. So
For anyone.
yeah, for a lot of people, yeah, it'll be cool. But it's
They
gonna
play
be,
for the same tees?
yeah, same tee. Oh yeah, we've been on the tips since we've been very, very young.
Oh, man.
But they had to shoot. I had a rule. You had to shoot in the 60s, and you had to start at the golds all the way up, right? Senior tees. And you had to shoot in the 60s 3 times from there to move back to the ladies, reds, or whatever it might be. And then after that, you had to shoot in the 60s 3 times. I don't care if you were 8 years old or 20 years old, you had to shoot in the 60s 3 times. So you learn how to score. I find that to be a very important factor. Learn how to shoot in the 60s. Do not be afraid to shoot in the 60s. Make that your goal. Don't just, because a lot of people just go, hey, I'm 18, I'm 16 or whatever, and I'm gonna go play the tips. And they learn how to shoot 82.
Right.
And they're 82, 81, 78, and that's not gonna do it. That's not college golf, that's not professional golf. So I really learned early to get them very comfortable in the 60s. And so now when they're in the tips, they're not afraid to shoot in the 60s.
When could they shoot in the 60s? How old?
13, both of them.
13.
Yeah.
From tips?
Yeah,
Oh,
from the
my
tips.
goodness.
From the tips. They worked their way back. And that was a big goal, right? 360s, move back. 360s, move back. Yeah, it was great.
And from the forward tees, same age, it's 13?
Yeah.
Shoot 60s?
Oh, no, just all the way. So they started like 10 years old. You know, they started probably 10 years old shooting the skis from all the way up. And they just worked their way back. And now it's like no problem. Dylan's and Ethan, they both break 70 all the time. They're not afraid of it. It's
I need
not
to get
about
Remy
it's
on that.
about being not afraid of it. Like, look, teach them how to shoot a 65. You need to know what it feels like to shoot a 65. And I don't care what tee that's from.
65 is a 65.
65, 65, bro.
100%.
That's impressive.
My guy challenged me, go play on the, Remy plays the women's tees, right? He's like, I bet you can't beat him if you play on the women's tees with him, but you have to hit driver every par 4 and 5 from the women's tee. He's like, go try to beat him. And it's fucking hard to do.
Right.
That is hard to do. Because
Yep.
it's like, you basically can drive almost every par 4, but you can also lose the ball.
And
you can
be
also
in
hit it
trouble.
over the green, or there's no landing room up there, but you have to hit drivers. So then it's also like trying to hit little like barely chippy drivers. It's like you gotta have some
You gotta work the
control
ball.
of your body.
You gotta
of
work
that.
it. Yeah, control it. Control the loft, spin, all that good stuff.
It's tournament and major season in the world of golf, and we at Par 3 Podcast are locked in on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your golf knowledge into serious cash. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You can make picks and submit your entry in less than 30 seconds. Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits. Par 3 Podcast has cashed out on Prize Picks before, and they'll do it again. Download the app today and use code PAR3 for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code PAR3 for a first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less, it's easy. Par 3 and Prize Picks are coming for the top of the golf leaderboard together. Our picks get paid. PrizePicks.com/par3.
What about you when you grew up? How did you get into golf? What is like?
Just my
everyone
parents.
knows the story of the People's Champ
Yeah.
and the hole in one and all this fucking
People's Champ, so
legendary
relatable,
shit.
man. People's Champ, dog. There's very few people.
47-year-old old dude just like comes out of nowhere and makes. But I mean, you know what? It's just all of a sudden I had 4 days in a row, and it's like something. It's never gonna happen again. And for me, but it was a very magical thing, right? And I don't know why. I don't know why it happened. I have no idea, but it happened, and I think I inspired a lot of people. I've got wives that had never watched golf before that watched golf and got into the sport, and I got guys who had quit golf that got back into the sport. And like we talked about, we're here for Youth on Course, and if I get some juniors playing, it's unbelievable. And if I got 75-year-old men playing golf again that weren't gonna ever play golf again, that makes me just as happy. It happened for a weird reason. I think it happened. The golf gods said, you know what, we're gonna let you inspire these people that are uninspired right now. All these young people have been inspired through COVID and everything else because they couldn't play anything else, so they started playing, whatever. I didn't inspire them. I inspired everyone my age frame, older and above, to get back into it or to play or whatever it might be, and I'm very lucky to be that avenue.
100%. when I seen the story, it was just like, I felt like it was literally me all over again. I'm like, bro, you're older than the typical guys coming out and going on tour and doing all of this shit, and it's just like, to see that as a guy who's like literally, I feel like I'm a country club journeyman. I'm a member. I'm a member everywhere in America just because people love to see me. They love to hang with me. I'm a great hang partner, whatever. And it's like, to see you actually go out there and put the numbers with their personality, it was just like, this is the people's champ.
I'm your buddy who you sit and you play 18 holes with and you hang and have a couple of beers and have lunch and smoke a cigar with, that all of a sudden is playing against Rory McIlroy in the final round in a major championship.
Yeah.
I'm that guy, 100%. It happened, and somehow then the ball goes directly in the hole in 15, and then I get up and down it, and it's really cool. I was with the people on 18. I was literally in with the people on 18, and I swear they made that ball go up in the air, land in the rough, trickle out, and I make that putt. It was like somebody, I think Max Home actually said, he goes, not even Tin Cup did that. He goes, Tin Cup took 7 shots to get in the hole. I love Max, he's cool.
But what's that like coming back, like coming home and like being, you leave the club pro. You come home, you're the club hero.
Yeah.
What is that like?
That to me was really, I mean, insane, right? To go as just, you leave as I am the head pro at a Roach Bugle Golf Club, I'm still the head pro at a Roach Bugle Golf Club. Nothing changed, right? And if you talk to anybody, they'll just tell you that I'm more tan than I was before because I've been playing more golf. That's the biggest change in me, you know?
I hear that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hold on, so going back, so then golfing, your parents got into where? Where'd you grow up?
St. Louis. I'm from, I grew up in Iowa and then St. Louis. And then I met son and women in Southern California, and I decided never to go back. I stayed out in LA and Orange County, California, Palm Desert. Love being a golf pro out there. I love everything about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I hate California, I'm leaving and all this stuff. And I love California.
Look at the weather back there.
It's been very good to me. And for all of you that don't want to be here, thank you.
It's not the fact that I don't want to be here, it's just I hate the income tax. I hate it.
I did not, trust me. Trust me, this year, I might feel differently in April of 2024, JR. I'm just letting you know, but I don't know. But I think I'm still going to stay, so.
Yeah, you got some big bags this year.
Hey, man, hey, rolling in. Let them keep rolling in. We asked a lot of people this, and I tend to get the same answer from pros. I'm starting to feel like that's like a thing that you learn to say as you're getting older. What's your favorite club in the bag?
I love my little pooty cut driver, which is a little baby cut. That's my go-to. I don't go for distance, I go for accuracy on my driver. But then when it comes down to it, like what I sleep with at night, outside of my wife, is my putter. That putter's got me out of more trouble than anything in the world, right? Even more than my lawyer. And so that putter is just, you know, it's godsend where it's like, you know what, I hit it in the crap and I get out, I chip out, I go to 12 feet and I make that putt. And this other guy just hit driver down the middle, wedge to 10 feet, misses it, lips it out, makes par, and I just made par too. And I just know for them that are going,
They're like, not again.
bro,
I can't
I mean,
beat
it's
this
so
guy.
much better than block. You know, I'm like, I had 4.
Yeah. Poor guy. Hey, what you have?
Yeah. Did you have 4 too? Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's your
but putter's
lowest round?
I got a 58 in my bag. I
Where?
shot 1,400 Coda de Casa in the Booth game, the Skins game out there, from the blue tees, from the blues. But it's still 58, and it was
58,
badass. It was badass. I made about a 25-footer on the last hole, and I was just trying to 2-putt it. And just how it was going that day, the hole looked the size of this right here, right? You've had games,
I've had
right?
those days.
You're shooting, the hole looks the size of this table, the hoop looks the size of this table, right?
Yeah.
Same exact thing. And that's what I felt like that day. But I did shoot a 59 at my home club, a Roach Bugle Golf Club. I shot 13 under with my 2 boys and one of my best friends on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And now the craziest thing is about those 2 rounds, the 59 and the 58, is that I never hit a warm-up shot. I never chipped, putt, nothing. I went to the first tee, and that's it. And I've really kind of gotten to that gravitation of where I feel like when you go warm up, most of the time, you leave going, okay, I'm warmed up, but I've hit I shanked 2, I topped a couple, I chunked a couple, and you're almost losing positive thoughts and you're losing confidence, and you go there. Because when you go to the putting green, Jim McLean told me way back in the day, go to the putting green and your first 3 putts, put them to a foot and bang them right in the back and feel it and listen to it. See it go in the hole. Don't go to 10 feet, downhill left to right, and immediately miss 3 and lose confidence.
Right.
You know, and that's what everyone does, right? What does everyone do at the putting green? They go out there because every putt, every green, every hole is about 30 feet apart. And they're hitting 30-footer to 30-footer to 30-footer to 30-footer. And they do 15 of those. They make none. And then they go to the first tee. So you just hit 15 putts, made no putts, and now you're going first tee. How is that good for your confidence? I'd rather have you not even go out there.
Yeah.
I'm giving you all my secrets.
No, you know what? Honestly, it makes perfect sense because I played with Melo, I played with Allen Iverson, played with a lot of guys, and they never warmed up. Like you'll see them in a layup line, maybe like messing around, but most of them are sitting down, chilling. People don't realize, like, before the fans get there, we're there at least an hour and a half before the game.
Right.
I'm out there getting a full sweat. I put up 100 shots in my 120 shots in my spots, and then I'll go out and, you know, get back in, get ready for game, go over the plays or whatever. But at the same time, if I wasn't shooting well in the practice round, it was just like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
One of those days.
Yeah. Start questioning
But those
yourself.
guys, they know they're gonna get 30 shots a game. Like, listen, just get it over here.
Just give me the ball.
Just give me the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what I really got to. Like, I watched Tracy McGrady give us 50 my second year.
Tracy.
50. And I didn't see him take a warm-up shot. He didn't do layup line. He didn't do anything. I talked to one of the guys that came out my same year. I was like, what was he doing for the game? He said, man, you know what he was doing? He was back there asleep. I was like, what? He's laying on the training table, literally asleep. Woke him up, like, yo, you ready? He got a stretch. The trainer stretched him. He came out and gave us 50. I'm like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. He's not overthinking it. He's not worried.
No. I heard that Anthony Kim used to,
AK.
I heard AK would just go, show up, barely slept, no warm-up, go right to the first tee and just shoot 67.
Where is AK? AK, where are you?
We need AK.
I want to go play with AK.
I need AK. This is a group right here. The 3 of us and AK.
And AK.
Let's go.
Calling you out right now, bro. We need you.
He's in Oklahoma somewhere. I know that. So.
In Oklahoma.
Yeah. I'm gonna call.
I just can't picture that.
I gotta call Ben Baylor. He's good friends with him and let him know.
All right.
You know.
All right. You heard it here.
Well, thank you all once again for the world famous podcast. It wouldn't be the same without you or Michael Block and J.R. Smith. Stephen Malbon here, and we will see you next time.